Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and I'm back doing multiplayer games. So it's been a while over the break. I didn't really get to play too much Total War, but as you saw in the last video that I released, that was going to be the episode 2 finally that I got out to you guys for the second part of the Punic War series. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you haven't already, I would go ahead and check it out. I had a blast making it. Every time I make a video in that series, I feel like I'm going to learn from my mistakes and keep making it better. So hopefully the next iteration will be also an improvement over that. You guys have given me some good feedback. I'm also going to look into changing up the distance I have between me and my mic, or getting a pop filter, something to fix the audio, because of course I think that was a bit of an Achilles heel problem for that documentary, was maybe the audio, because it would sometimes pop or get too loud in certain places. So I'm going to try and fix that. Anyways, yeah, here we are. We're playing multiplayer 2v2. It's ultra fun sizes, so that's why you see me affording so many of these units, and how so many of the Praetorian Guard or these various units have some pretty nice upgrades. Rules were no artillery, no equipment use, only one chariot or elephant, so you get to pick between those two. So I am here going to be Rome. You can see my lineup moving forward. And then I have elephants and some cavalry in the back. My ally over there is going to be playing as the Seleucids, so he has a group of chariots behind his spear wall, and then he has a bunch of cataphracts as well. Anyways, our opponent here, the Britain player, is going to start moving out a single unit, so that's maybe not something you should do. If you're going to be playing multiplayer, of course you'll get a whole variety of skilled players, but throwing something out like that is going to be obvious bait for anyone to take. So if you're going to do that, make sure you actually use that single unit as bait. Don't just throw it out there for the purpose of chasing down enemies, because you can see players like myself, or almost anyone who is competent enough, will go ahead and chase that unit off and take it out. So you want to make sure that if you are going to be throwing that unit out there, make sure that you have something behind it. So if I were the enemy right there, I would have 3 or 4 slingers hiding behind that guy, and then some cavalry and spears in close support. Leave this guy out in the open like this so that it kind of draws the player in, but then have supporting forces right behind it. So here I'm a little nervous about moving forward. I'm like, is this really happening? Am I going to be able to charge through this guy? And what I decided to do is charge just with the Triarii, because I don't want my other units to expend their Pilla. So I'm going to just tell those guys to hang back a bit and not necessarily engage. I don't want, as I said, to waste Pilla on troops like that that are otherwise going to be destroyed. Keeping an eye on the rest of his army. And it looks like this player is actually going to be microing his forces on the right, where he's trying to reinforce his allies. So it looks like the opponents here are not working together. And yeah, here we go. We're going to be able to start knocking those guys out. I'm going to re-target my archers, tell them to fall back because I don't want to have friendly fire against my forces. And yeah, let's go ahead and just move the rest of my forces up. So I'm bringing my various troops back here. You can see how I have a single line in the front with enough infantry to tackle what he throws at me, with some spear support, cavalry support, and some ranged units, but the bulk of my troops are actually going to be in the back. That's something that I think you should try and do, is have multiple levels, because it allows you to attack and retreat and fall back to more forces. It's never really a good idea to blob your forces all together in one group, because it makes you less mobile, less versatile, and obviously if you want to do it for historic reasons, that's what the Romans did. Right there I highlighted my cavalry just to show you that in the engagement they basically lost no men. So if you look at the bottom tab, all my units are full in the green. I expended, basically to kill those guys, I just expended a couple shots from my archers, and then my cavalry charged in, and they didn't get any losses themselves. Anyways, you can see my elephants ran through those units. I didn't really end up telling them to attack anyone, so I guess they did their job. I think they killed troops, but anyways, that was kind of a lapse of micro. Had my opponent had more spears, I would have definitely lost those elephants because I was not watching them. Anyways, what you can see me doing here is I'm going to be pulling back my center line. Looks like he's pushing out with his chosen band, so I'm going to go ahead and put a hard flank on this guy. Definitely what you want to do, and as I said, or as I've said before, Romans would have done this, use their supporting mana pools or ranks to outflank the enemy on certain occasions. So that's what I'm going to do here. We're going to have a giant, what used to be convex bulge is going to become concave. I'm going to draw my opponent in and make him spread out, and then I'm going to attack from all flanks. So also you'll notice that all my troops here were taken off formation attack. That's definitely something you want to do as the Romans, and that I usually forget to do. So now I'm starting to do it at the very beginning of battle. I decided to engage his forces here, and yeah, my opponent's trying to help me out, or my ally is trying to write on the map. Anyway, something I like to do as well is once the infantry fight gets engaged, I like to keep my velites in the back. I would think they're not very good for skirmishing. Keep them behind your forces, wait for the engagement to happen, and then use your velites or your other ranged units to pick off units that are otherwise engaged. So attack on the flanks and stuff, just like here. You can see I'm allowing his guys to push through my ranks, and in doing so they're going to expose their flanks. And around the sides, I allowed, because I pulled back, I didn't have a solid front, I could disperse, and that allows my legions, who are just by their very nature, the legionnaires, to be a bit more mobile. By their very nature, they're going to be able to infiltrate the cracks in his troops. My returning cavalry are then going to go ahead and knock out the remainder of his forces here, and you can see my ally at the same time has thrown in a group of chariots, I believe, into the fray, and yeah, that's going to cause enough disruption in those forces to keep them from coming in and attacking my army. Here I've gotten local superiority in various places, on top of the fact that I'm using Praetorian Guard and stuff like that against the Parthians, and Parthian troops are not very solid, so I had a lot of advantages going for me, and looks like we're going to be able to turn on our final opponent back there. Should be relatively easy considering it's a 2v1 and I haven't really lost any men. Neither has my ally. And there we go, one of the enemies is going to quit. And now that I have this isolated group back here, I'm going to just position my forces to take them out with ease, and then move the rest of my guys up to the front here, and not allow him to get too many shots off. Anyway, something I wanted to talk about is a question a bit. Like, what do you guys want to do for my videos? I'm definitely hoping to continue my Punic War series. I know since the first episode to the second episode it took like 3 months. I don't intend to make it take that long. The reason it did is because I had a lot of schoolwork and a lot of things got in the way, but now I think I'm in sort of the I know how to create these episodes, and I have a lot of stock footage, so what I'm hoping to do is increase the pace of that. But if I were to focus on that and go get those out quicker, it would mean I would have less of these other videos. So I'm wondering, like, what do you guys think I should do for balance? Would you mind that I upload a couple less videos in order to get those out quicker? Do you think I should focus just on history, or do you guys enjoy these multiplayer battles? Do you even want me to do Let's Plays? Do you enjoy those? I say that because I haven't been able to get back to my Caesar and Gaul video in a little bit, and so I'm just wondering what you guys want me to cover. I think most of you generally are here for the history, so I'm happy to cover history. Now I can cover history in a variety of ways. I can do it as I play Caesar and Gaul, or I can make specific history videos like I'm doing with the Punic War series. That's something I could do. So let me know what you think the mix of videos should be. Something I can also do is, as I'm working on my Punic Wars video, I can maybe make a couple smaller videos in between, like something on specific battles or specific tactics, kind of like how I did one on the triplex axes. People have asked me to do videos on maybe how hoplites would have fought, or phalanx versus phalanx armies would have fought, stuff like that I can try and do. And yeah, just let me know. Your feedback is definitely appreciated. I love all the feedback, especially you guys are giving me on that Punic Wars documentary video. I really like making those. It's tons of fun. I'm glad I can get you guys hooked on history. I myself love it. I'm actually reading a couple other books at the moment on Rome. I finished some off, and so now I'm moving on to one about Mithridates and the Mithridatic Wars. So that's very, very interesting. It has to do with Pontus and that sort of Eastern Empire that rose and crumbled, and all of that took place around the time of Julius Caesar. So Mithridates actually ended up fighting against first Sulla and then Pompey. So those are very interesting battles, and I hope to be able to cover some of that in the future. But anyways, this is going to be it for this multiplayer battle. I have a couple more of these, played against the same opponents several times in a row, so I hope you enjoyed. Take a look at the stats. We did pretty well overall. I would say I have a good mix of kills between all my units. They're all pretty effective. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to leave comments below to let me know what you want to see in the future. And yeah, see you next time.